Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chant A Psalm A Day. We are here today. My daughter's texting me. We had such a good communication, my daughter and I. This rise, I'm going to be putting together a proposal, and she's sending me all these references that now I got to put into APA format and citations. Now I'm getting more work to do. But it's a thoughtful thing for her to send me these resources and references. I am so tired. This one eye, I think, is tired. But anyway, thankful for being here today for Chant A Psalm. Greetings of love and joy with great gratitude for the Most High daily. Elsu, thank you so much for joining Chant A Psalm A Day. I got a feedback about my background, and Chawa said she gave me some feedback about it, and I think I'm gonna keep this background during the winter time when I'm up here. With this background. But thank you for joining Chant A Psalm A Day. We are here today on the 5th of December. We're moving slowly towards, the holidays and the times when families are getting together and gathering and, having those times off from work. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So my son mentioned to me, I wanted him to be on here with me today, and he said, no, he said, that's religious, and da, da, da. And he said, are you a Rasta? What are you? And da, da, da. Are you, what? And I said, those are labels to divide us. These labels that divide us into these factions and keep us separate from each other because, of those differences. So I cannot label myself in any way, shape, or form, and I identify myself as blackness, righteousness. That's how I identify. And people may identify themselves in different ways. That's them. That's how they want to identify. So thank you for liking this video, for joining Chant A Psalm A Day, and for giving me this time as I sit by the fire. And I love the word today. The word today is compassion. Compassion is a beautiful thing because compassion gives us, we have that relationship with righteousness and goodness and love, and that relationship that we have, all these various attributes, all these different attributes, such as compassion, is part of those seeds that you plant inside your good soil because you are the good soil, right? And that's why I have this shirt. It says, I don't know if the words are backwards on the shirt, but it says strength. And it says, strength is what we gain from the madness we survive. Survive. If you are here tuning in, that means you're a survivor. You're alive, okay? You're alive and you're here. So that in itself gives you motivation to be here, to be alive, and to want to be part of this life. It's important because our time is so precious and our time may be so short, but people, talk about life is short. I think life is blessed. It's too blessed to be stressed and, use it into that way. Thank you, Elsu. I appreciate your feedback on that. Talking about the time I'm sharing, this translation of the word, deepening it, and it's for growing. Your garden. You are the garden. You know what I mean? And you're the gardener of your garden. So how are you going to garden? What are you going to plant? Some people plant potatoes, some people plant tomatoes. What are you planting? So compassion is a word today that is one of those seeds we're going to talk about. The Psalm today, I love it. It's Psalm number uno, Psalm number 1. And Psalm number 1, it begins the Psalms. It's book one, and it's telling about the good and the bad. All right. It's talking about the ways of the good and the bad, and how you can discern such ways, and see people for who they are, not for what you want them to be, you know. Um, and it's sometimes hard because we want people to be, better, and sometimes people don't want better, because they never had better. So it can turn into something bitter, because you want better for someone that doesn't want that for themselves. So we have to stay in the way of the righteous. We have to stay in that way because it can get us upset and frustrated, right? That's why the psalm talks about the ways of the righteous and the wicked. It's two different sets of people. Hi, Yadav. Am I correctly pronouncing that? Nandu Yadav. Nice. So thank you for joining Chant A Psalm, and thank you for liking this video, by the way. My son says I should change the name from Chant A Psalm. He thinks it's too religious and it's too about the Bible, and the Bible is up for interpretation. So here's one of those interpretations. And, he doesn't like people coming at me in certain ways. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like even when I'm crying. If I'm having to shed a tear, he doesn't like that. So, it's important that everyone knows that this is a platform to share goodness, okay? My son talks about religion, and this is religion. It's religious. It's religion. And I said religion is this institutionalized kind of framework. However, religion is what some people put themselves in that framework. Hi, Ray Plays. Are you okay? Kindness. Be good. And the religiosity that we've grown up with was used not to liberate. It wasn't used in that purpose. It was used as a controlling kind of, mechanism. So when people are now using it to change their lives and liberate their, depression, people want to call them religious. You're religious, and it's like, okay, some people may not believe there's a God, but they still do good. They still want to do kindness and speak with respect. And, they're not out here killing and shedding blood and hurting and bloodthirsty as the scriptures, describe certain folks. So, we have this idea that religion has to do with these rules. And this psalm talks about the ways of certain folks. And people's ways are dictated by the rules that they follow, right? So, people follow rules of the world. They got to pay taxes. They got to do this. They got to vote. They got to blah, 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 right? There's different rules. You have to, pay a ticket if you didn't. You have to, drive on the certain road. There's rules. So within those rules of the world, people obey those. But when it comes to rules of righteousness, people sometimes, and not anybody out there, sometimes people don't err on that side because of human, to be human is to err, is to make errors and make mistakes. So when I look at the Psalm today, Psalm number 1, it really rings all the bells and whistles are in this Psalm. All the bells and whistles, it's got it all. And it begins, I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is righteousness, what is goodness, What is mercy? What is love? Long suffering, forgiveness, all of the attributes that, we want other people to have, but we don't plant it in ourselves and try to, nourish it within ourselves. Yeah, so this psalm is the way of the righteous and the way of the wicked. Here it goes. Blessed is the one who walks not in the teachings of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. Verse 2, blessed is the one who delight is in the laws of righteousness, and on righteousness's law meditates day and night. I love verse 3. Blessed is the one, for that one is compared or as a tree planted by streams of water. And a stream is flowing, right? Streams of water that yields, that brings fruit, right? In time. In time. And the one that is blessed, the leaves of that one does not wither. So whatever that one has planted, that tree, the fruits, they're not going to wither. Okay? And in all that that blessed one does, that one prospers. In all they do, they prosper. So when you see yourself going through trials and tribulations, righteousness is trying to get you right. It's trying to get you right. And you may have to, get scuffled a little bit and, thrown upside down and stuff. That may happen. But once you have planted long suffering, goodness, forgiveness, mercy, you're able to rise up as a phoenix. So in verse 4, it describes, on the other hand, the wicked. Because the wicked are not as what I just described. It's described that the wicked are as the chaff the wind drives away. They just blow out into the wind. Wherever the wind blows, that's where they go. No purpose, the wicked. It's just nothing, it's just dead. It's nothing there. And that's why some good people are ended up with bad people, because they want to bring that good out. They want to do that. And if that person who is wicked is not able to surrender to the goodness, they're going to turn that one into wickedness, or that one is going to leave. It's going to be confusion, because good can't stay with bad, bad can't stay with good, evil and good can't be in the same space. It just don't work. So I'm not calling anybody evil. I'm not judging who's what in this psalm. Who's wicked and who's righteous, you're going to know them from their works and their fruits, because verse 3 is, we are as a tree. The blessed one, the one who is righteous, is as a tree planted, not wavering and blowing with the wind everywhere where it goes. The righteous is planted and struck and grounded, in other words, grounded by streams of water that yields fruit in due time. And nothing that one does is going to wither away. All that one does prospers. But the wicked are not like that. They're as the chaff that the wind drives away. And in verse 5, the wicked will not stand in the judgment. What's going to happen? When someone isn't standing, they're what? Falling. Right? So the wicked will not stand in the judgment. nor ones who are sinners or, lascivious or, fornicators or, hoes. I call them hoes. You're a hoe. Sleeping around. My son talks about Sodom and Gomorrah being, homosexual, but it wasn't about that. It was about people fornicating and sleeping with this one and sleeping with that one. In the days of Noah, this is what was happening. People were just eating each other, as food. And as it talks about it in the Psalm, you eat up my people as you eat bread. So these things in the scriptures, people can talk about the Bible and all up and down and interpret it however they want to interpret it. I look at the scriptures as all things are working together for the good. And Sodom and Gomorrah was part of that, because after that happened, we see this shift in the scriptures talking about, the flesh and the ways of, people physically thinking about themselves and the vanity of it, because this is what that was about. Just because two men are together, two women are together, and we've grown up in a heteronormative society where we see man and woman, and that's the foundation of creation. However, that creation may look differently, doesn't mean it's a sin or it's wrong, as long as people are loyalty, honesty with each other, and have that deep, foundation to love each other unconditionally. You have a relationship, whether it's with a man and a woman, as long as those things and ingredients are there. And you're not riding off of flesh. Because my son is talking about, women and women is just sex, 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 sex. And it's like, okay, if that's how you want to see it, because, it's been sexualized. Sexual identities have been sexualized, and people identify based on sexual activities that they do, and that is in the forefront. Whereas what's supposed to be in the forefront is that unconditional love of that iris, the righteousness, the righteousness over flesh. Jesus was tempted. He was tempted, his flesh, to turn that stone into bread. He was like, I can't live by bread alone. I can't live by sex alone. You can't live by these things alone, because when that stuff goes away, what do you have? So I look at the Psalm as something very important, because people judge people based on these identities and these labels. Okay, I'll put a label on strength. Okay, don't call me she or her, call me strength. I was at a conference, and I was asked, what are my pronouns? And I'm like, call me by my name. I have a name. You want to know what it is? It's Carla, it's Gallo, I have a name, Dr. Sewer, however you want to, just call me by my name. Don't call me out of my name. As a pronoun, I'm going to identify as I am more than a pronoun. So, I have issues with these labels and these names that people, and these identifications. I identify, I'm a Black woman. That's how you identify me. When you first look at me, that's what you're going to see first. Identification is a outside thing. Right? You see a person and you identify them with what they look like. You can't tell somebody's sexuality or who they sexually are with. Why would that be such a big important issue? Because the world is about that. Sodom and Gomorrah, the flesh, right? Sex, sex, sex. So righteousness had to put things in a righteous way. And that righteousness, is righteousness knows righteousness. Game knows game, right? That's what people talk about. So righteousness knows righteousness. Good people know other good people. Misery loves a company. Misery loves to be around a lot of people, because misery can't sit by themselves at all. Misery has to have others around to be miserable. But when you can stand alone, as verse 3, righteousness is as a tree planted by the streams of water. That's all that's around that person. The person doesn't have a crowd of trees or a crowd of people, because then that tree is able to yield its fruit in due time, because there's no obstacles of other persons. And then that tree is able to, branch out for other trees once that tree is itself planted. So in verse 5, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor the sinners in the assembly or the gathering of the righteous. Because of that reason, righteousness and wickedness, they don't go together. It's like oil and water, they just separate. So in verse 6, it talks about how righteousness knows the way of the righteous. However, the way of the wicked is going to perish. Perish means destroyed, finished, done with, bye-bye, no more, because we're making a way for righteousness. Righteousness is going to cover the earth as the water cover the sea. So this is where that's coming from. That is the reality. That is what we see within ourselves, that we have to try to grow. We have to try to grow in that righteousness, because people are out here going to judge. There's wickedness out here, they're coming, So we have to stand as a tree planted firmly, so that we won't perish, but we will prosper, and we won't be, fallen in the judgment, but we're going to stand in it, because we are as a tree planted by the streams of water. It's simple, right? But yet it's hard. And I look at the verse today and the word today, compassion, and the psalm today, Psalm number 1, describing these two different, paths you can take in life. These are honestly important to know. These are two different paths in life. Either you're going to, be planted in the right rules of righteousness, or you're going to, wither and perish and fall. So think about those things when you are in your meditation, and when you are beginning even a new job, a new relationship, whatever the case may be. The verse of the day, so the psalm today, Psalm number 1, Selah and Selah again. Blessed the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is righteousness, what is goodness, what is mercy, what is love. And as I shift now to the verse of the day coming from John is popping up this whole entire days now. John chapter 10, verse 7 and verse 9 to 10. So John chapter 10 talks about Jesus and speaks of how Jesus said, "Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved." Remember what Jesus represents now. And that's a kind of brand new name, some use these ancient names, Yahweh, Kadamawe, However, that still is the same one that represents righteousness, long suffering, mercy, love. When you come through that, all of those attributes, you're going to be saved. Doesn't compassion save a person? Doesn't goodness and kindness and mercy save a person? Yes, but the world tells us the good guy ends last. The world perpetuates these movies of the villain winning, So when I look at what being saved is, you're being saved from perishing, according to Psalm 1, and from this destruction of falling, right? And all ones who hear and know will come in and go out, and they will find their place, their pasture, their place. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. That's what the thief comes to do: steal, kill, and destroy. And lie. Put lie in there, because the thief lies. The thief kills, the thief destroys. However, righteousness, right? That's Jesus, God, Lord, Jehovah, the Most High, Almighty One. That one has come that you may have life and have it in abundance. So why not err on the side of righteousness? Why not plant those seeds of compassion inside of you? You know, that is the power. Blessed good morning, Connie. Hi, welcome to Chant A Psalm A Day. It's 9:27 right now. That's my number. It's actually 9:27. I'm kind of late today. I am so tired. I've been up really early. And yeah, it's 9:27. That's my birthday numbers and the Ethiopian Maskell numbers. So 9:27, as I finish up the verse of the day and I go to the word of the day. The word of the day is brought to us by 1 Samuel 23, verse 21. The word is compassion. And here it goes. Compassion opens my heart and heals the world. You check that out? What does compassion do? Opens my heart and what? Heals the world. Just as it's written in the book of John chapter 10 that righteousness has come to give life and give it in abundance. And what is righteousness? What is Jesus? That's compassion. So the word today, compassion, it speaks when my heart is troubled by the awareness of the suffering of those close to me or throughout the world. Temptation to turn my attention away to think about more pleasant things, right? But the call to care and the impulse to help is divinely inspired. When someone is called to care and they have that impulse to help someone, that's been divinely inspired. That's by the Most High. That's by God, right? I was called to care. I was called to help someone, That was divinely inspired. I wasn't wanting anything from them. I cared, and I have this impulse to help that's coming from a divine inspired place. So what does that mean? That means compassion, wanting to make a difference and to make people's lives better. Okay? So my compassionate acts improve and heal lives, including mine. So by staying present to strengthen someone through a pain they may be having, I'm becoming braver to face my own. When I respond with warmth and sensitivity, righteousness is speaking through me. The love and care I feel inspired to share are of divine Most High righteousness. Whether shared or received, compassion blesses everyone that compassion touches. I want compassion to touch you. Because 1 Samuel 23, verse 21 says, may you be blessed by the Lord for showing me compassion. So when you show someone compassion, you will be blessed. So J Dove, go show compassion so your bank account may be blessed. Okay? So compassion is what you give in order to receive. So expecting to get money is not going to happen with you like that, unless you go do something wicked, as the Psalm number 1 talks about. The wicked are going to perish. Wickedness is stealing, come to steal and destroy. If you're trying to get money doing those things, you're not going to see a good outcome. So, yep, their trolls are strong today. But guess who's stronger? The Most High. So, may you be blessed, J Dove, and everybody else on here, through righteousness, through your own goodness, and show other people compassion. Yes. But what are you asking? Asking for money? That's the end result. You have to ask for the seeds of attributes of God to be planted inside of you. Then and only then would you be able to see and be guided by your gifts that you can be able to turn now into money. Okay? So what are your gifts? Because your fruits could be used to give, to help other people where you can be getting money. Okay? So I receive the millions of dollars, J Dove. I receive it. Right? And you shall too. However, there's a way to get what you want. And the first step is not wanting. Psalm 23, thou shalt not want. Okay? Take care of what you need, and everything else will find its way. So, yeah, I'm a little tired this morning. And then talking to my daughter kind of not exhausted me, but we just got into good research reasoning, I would call it. I'm calling it research reasoning. Research reasoning. And research reasoning is looking at talking about what's important to people's lives and how we can be of strength. In my case, children and families. So I love the word today, compassion. I also love the verse today coming from John chapter 10. The psalm today, Psalm number 1, beautiful. So as we close, I wanted to thank everybody, first of all, for coming to Chant A Psalm A Day and tuning in. We're shortening our psalm, as you can tell, these past couple days. My growth, and thank you for liking this video. I'm growing into my tranquility and finding what people call peace of mind. I'm finding my tranquility. And it's a beautiful thing to find that, because then the things that made you cry actually make you laugh. Isn't that weird? The things that made you cry actually are now the things that make you laugh, because that's growth. And the things that made you laugh end up making you cry, you know? So you have to take the bitter with the sweet in life. That's just a part of life. And knowing that you have these attributes, compassion, love, guidance, all of that, you can go now and move forward with the strength of that. So thanks so much for joining Chant A Psalm A Day. Have a blessed day, everyone, a beautiful day. And remember to always stand in love, because the wicked is who's going to fall in love, in judgment. They're going to fall in the judgment, but the righteousness is going to stand in it. So stand in it, don't fall in it. Have a blessed day. And remember, Chant A Psalm A Day. Thanks for joining and have a beautiful day, everybody. Sit by the fire cozy. We have to remember that love is the key. Love is our religion. We have to know that love is our religion. It is our religion, honestly. Okay? So, have a blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you next time. See you next time. Take good care. Take good care.